Hello and welcome to this next installment for our TradeWatch videos. The focus of this particular webinar is with regards to tomorrow's pending US election, obviously between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, Republican and Democrat presidential candidates. And we do want to discuss this in a little bit of detail, just give you a little bit of background information and therefore explain what we think it means for these financial markets. So without further ado, if I could do a quick introduction, feel free to connect with us for our social media channels. We do have a whole range of products and services available to our traders every Monday and Thursday. Every Monday to Thursday, we have a live Capital Growth live trade room for about 30 minutes at 8:30 p.m. every evening. We also have our signal service, so when we get into a trade, we let our traders know about those trades. We also have these TradeWatch videos, and also we've got a whole range of other products and services like our education and things like that. But every Thursday at 7:30, we have our live trading mentorship webinar. So very much based on trading the markets with live capital on a daily basis. For more information, if you do want to look into kind of what we offer traders, then please do go to our website there at the bottom, www.thelivetraderoom.com. And please take a brief moment to familiarize yourself with our risk warning currently up on screen. Okay, so let's get straight in then, and we'll discuss this TradeWatch video. So what I want to draw your attention to first, we were looking for kind of suitable explanations in terms of where things are at regarding the current state of play, and it's very much expected. You know, when you look at the electoral college system in the US, so it's not the most popular. The person who attains the most votes is president. It's not that system. It's not first past the post. They have an electoral college system, so each state has its own weighting, and this is what's really quite important. This is why you hear a lot about Florida and Texas being very, very important states. So if I just draw your attention to, we need the winner will need to accrue a minimum of 270 electoral college votes in order to be president of the United States. So this is really what it's all about. The national polls and things like that, it's great for getting a bit of a feel, but really doesn't have any major impact whatsoever. So there's a lot of swing states here in yellow. So and they're all weighted slightly differently, as you can see. Some of the real important ones are like Florida, for example, Texas, very, very significant, Georgia, Pennsylvania. So they're very, very significant and very important swing states. And currently, it's very much anticipated Biden has around 200 votes, and it's anticipated that Donald Trump has around 125. So obviously, Donald Trump would need to win some of these major swing states in order to get himself up to that very important 270 figure. So that's the first thing we just wanted to explain. And that's why there's a lot of talk about Minnesota and Texas and Florida and see who wins those particular states. So do keep an eye on that. So really, one of the main reasons why we want to just briefly touch upon this is we want to see, right, well, how does this apply to the financial markets? And there's a couple of things. As this, and this is the euro dollar, this is the most traded market out there is the euro dollar in volume on a daily basis. And what we've seen is a gentle sort of decline really in volatility. As the indecision and the nervousness has increased, we've seen sort of trading volumes back off quite considerably. So it has, although you get these little swing moves, the overall and the euro dollar is not a bad sort of starting point. For the last few months, really, this market has been in a sideways move. What is interesting is it's very close to breaking the monthly low, the 116 low. So do keep an eye out for that, for some continuation to the downside. But all eyes will really be on the equities and the indice markets. So you can see often these markets have periods of erratic price action, a little bit sideways moving. In today's trading session, as you can see, we had a really strong US indice market today. It broke back above the 100-period moving average and then sold back off below it. So now there's just a lot of sort of nervousness as we go into this US presidential election. So this is the very important market to focus on. What's happening with the US indice markets, and not just US as well, but the European, the FTSE and the Euro 50 markets. We'll also be keeping a close eye on the gold market. You can see it's been kind of trading in the sideways fashion for a period of time. We can also be looking at the safe havens, see how they're very likely to react. And then, of course, the US dollar. What sort of moves are we likely to see in markets such as the Aussie dollar and the New Zealand dollar as well? And that can almost compare and contrast with what's going on versus the euro and the pound. So what we've done is we've discussed in detail potentially the potential outcome, and what I'm going to do is just slide up to one side and see if I can just talk you through this. So what we really have currently up on screen is it really depends who wins, right? So if we've got Biden, if he gets over that very important 270 mark, and the Democrats gain the Senate as well, so they have the majority of the House and the Senate, then what that means is it's likely to be, all in all, quite positive for US indices. And please note that we anticipate that to be the same whether Trump or Biden wins. That's the first thing that's quite important. Now, there's a couple of subtle sort of deviations that we can be a little bit more proactive about. And the first one is, if we get a positive US indice markets, we're very likely to see a bit of selling creeping into the US dollar. That's pretty much the correlation that we've been seeing with an uptick in indice markets, and that's likely to continue. Also, it might be worthwhile keeping an eye on the gold market to the upside and see if we get a little bit of a breakout to the upside. To just go through the potential options as far as Donald Trump's concerned, and if we get a Republican House and Senate majority, then we're likely to see an uptick in the US indice markets. However, with the whole protectionist angle that Donald Trump likes to promote, and clashing with European politicians and things like that, it's likely to actually weigh a little bit on markets like your EU indice markets. So that's an important correlation, because it might be a case of buying US indices and looking to sell your European indices. So that could be a very viable trade. With the whole protectionist angle with Trump, we would be actually looking to see if some capital starts coming into the US dollar in terms of a price action move. And also gold, again, keeping a close eye on that gold market is, especially with the sort of the global uncertainty regarding things like the current COVID situation and trade war talks and things like that. You would imagine Biden would be looking to appease and to build relationships, and Trump obviously sticking to his Make America Great Again policy, which is very protectionist. And then the sort of the nightmare scenario that the markets, it's going to be, it's really what the markets are not wanting to see, is where there's a lack of clarity in terms of who wins. So it could be a very, very close win in either direction. Or we have a situation where there's no clarity in terms of winning. We might have a couple of swing states which might be tested in court, like we had with Gore and Bush. So it's worth taking that into account, that we might have a lack of clarity, really. We might have a marginal win either way. It might take a few days to find out. If that happens, then we're likely to see the indice markets squeeze lower, just because of the sort of the uncertainty of the whole situation. And then we'd be looking for opportunities in some of your safe haven markets. And for slightly different reasons, we would probably prioritize looking at price action, the US dollar over the yen market. But we would certainly be keeping an eye for opportunities with the Japanese yen or the US dollar. So that's really how we're laying out effectively the potential options with some of the very key markets that are very much related to whether we'll see a Biden, Trump, or we'll have a marginal win in either direction. And what we're wanting, what the markets are certainly wanting, and what we would like to see happen is a clear-cut winner. But it just remains to be seen whether that will be the case or not. Okay, so so this video has just been a little bit longer than anticipated. So for that reason, we'll wrap it up there. Memberships with the Live Trade Room do start from as little as $19.99 per month. You can access to a whole range of different products and services to get a foothold in these financial markets, to, I suppose, arm yourself with as much information as you possibly can. For more information, just go to our website there, www.thelivetraderoom.com, and you can join us for a whole range of those products and services just along the bottom. Okay, so all that's left for me to do now is thank you very much for joining us as always. Do take care, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Hope this video helps, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.